POV. It's currently summer 2022. Little 17-year-old Riley has just recently graduated high school and has started his journey into After spending the summer working his part-time job at a grocery store, he decides to apply for a full-time job recommended to him by one of his family members.
Wholesale delivery driver.
And here's the thing, Riley at this point in time had no idea how much more cash he would have in his pocket with a full-time gig, to the point where his first paycheck was like gold. And his brain goes, you know what I'm gonna do with this? Buy another car. Which ultimately led him to this, a 1993 Lexus SC400. I've owned this car for a little over a year now, and today I decided I'm gonna answer the question, should you buy a project car at 18 years old?
Hey, how's it going? I was about to slam a protein shake. You should come with me. Oh. All right, so.
Charlie. Nova, is that Dad? Who is that?
I'm gonna continue on with driving around town and talking to you guys about why you should totally buy a project car. Charlie's going insane.
I'm trying to zoom in on your face. Did he go out the... Go!
So in case you guys have never been to my channel before, this is my 1993 Lexus SC400. And this right here is my project car. Project car is about having fun. And that's what this thing is. It's fun. Now this particular model of the SC has the 4-liter 1UZ V8, it's rear-wheel drive, and it's automatic, which kind of sucks, but hey, a V8 rear-wheel drive coupe, period, is pretty sick. Now obviously I understand that an SC400 is not everybody's ideal project car. A lot of people are probably going to want to start with a 240 or a Mazda Miata or maybe even a Mustang. I don't know. The car market is such a big pond to jump into, and I understand that if you're trying to get into a project car, it can be really intimidating seeing a Miata go for 10 grand or a junkyard 240 going for 30. So for me, what I would say is if you were to get into a project car, I would say number one is do your research. Now when I say do your research, I mean do your research on everything you think you might need to research. If you want to start all the way at the beginning, maybe start with what cars make good project cars. That would be a good place to start. I've known a lot about cars for the last few years, so I did a lot of research over a big span of time. I really started to educate myself on what I was really interested in compared to what was good, regardless of who the person was. And that kind of led me to this car.
Oh yeah, we love the sound of a 1UZ.
Another specific thing you're probably going to want to research after you've selected the car you want to start with is look up potential problems that that specific car might have. One thing I particularly had to worry about with this car was the power steering pump. The power steering pump has a bit of an issue to have some leakage, and it happens to be right above the alternator. So what can happen in these engines is the power steering pump can start to leak onto the alternator, and then cause the battery not to charge. If you start off your project car experience by going into it knowing what kind of problems you're already going to have and knowing how to fix them, you're already going to be a step ahead of the game.
Hopefully this works.
Yeah, that's right. The jaws of life.
We're gonna fix it.
We're throwing the wheel on. And tire.
Wheel and tire.
Then once you've done all your research, you can actually get to the fun part, which is potentially buying and starting on your own project car.
first thing I kind of wanted to talk about regarding my car is just how overwhelmingly expensive it can be. I think that's the biggest reason why a lot of people might not decide to get into a project car is because of how unexpectedly expensive little minuscule fixes can be just to get your car going. This is why I think it's really important to actually budget out your build before you actually go and decide what car you want to buy. Figure out what kind of a car is probably going to be the best option for you based on what you can put into it in terms of replacing parts and fixing things, restoring it, or just in mods.
Man, I started shooting this thing for this YouTube video, and I looked at footage of me where I had a tripod facing the car, and I got out of it, and I was like, wow, this thing is huge!
Hooray!
Now, something else that I think is really important if you're deciding to go get a project car is actually having a daily in case your project car decides to break down.
Hey, you. Hey, you.
So in case you guys are new to my channel and you haven't been watching any of my previous videos from the last few years, I also have this. This is my 1994 Toyota 4Runner. I got it when I was about 11 years old, and ever since I got it, I've been doing little fixes here and there. My dad and I did a whole top-end rebuild on it, and it's been my daily driver ever since I got my license in grade 11. This was my first car, and it still is to this day my daily. Set of 31-inch tires, a rooftop tent, and a couple of cool other things too. The cool part about this thing is it's got a ton of utility, which makes it nice because then we get to go do fun things with this one.
You like to go to the park and stuff like that, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The reason I bring this truck into this video is because I think a really important part about owning a project car is also having another vehicle that is still there for you if your project car decides to, you know, crap itself in the pants. And as you go on in your project car life, you begin to grow and you begin to change. And your taste might change with you, meaning you might need to change up some things, or maybe even change up your project car entirely. Alrighty, this is the last little fuel up I have with this car. Because I think the guy's gonna come pick it up and take it home tomorrow. Been a little over a year with this thing now. Something that you should really keep in mind when you're going for a project car is that this car probably won't be your only project car forever, unless it's your ultimate passion project, which I know a lot of people out there find a first project car that ends up being their project car for the next 10 to 15 years. That's usually a rare occurrence. Most people like to go through a couple of different cars, so when you're picking out a project car, maybe pick one out that you could see yourself owning for a year, maybe 2 years, then think about how you can grow and learn from it once you're done with it. So if I were to quickly bookend this video and say the short answer to the question at the title of the video, I would say, yeah, it is worth it to buy a project car at 18 years old. Sure, it's not really worth it financially, but it is going to be an awesome experience for you. And if you don't want to own a project car, a project of any sort, whether it be a bike or a truck or a car, it's up to you. I think owning a project vehicle would be a great step in the process of really becoming an adult and learning a lot of hard lessons that, you know, if you're playing it safe, you won't really get to experience. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Past Riley, finish it off. What car doesn't have its quirks? But man, am I ever happy with my first project car. And it is definitely worth it. You should definitely do it.